Hello, my name is Brandon, and welcome to Retro Reactions, a place where I experience amazing music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s for the very first time. And today we're going to be traveling all the way back to 1970 to listen to Waw Wa, Let It Down, and Run of the Mill by the amazing George Harrison. And this one comes from my amazing supporter here and over on Patreon, Arnie. So thank you so much, Arnie, for all your support and for finally leading me to George Harrison's solo. Been wanting him on my channel for a while, so you gave me the perfect opportunity. All three songs come from All Things Must Pass, his third studio album, a triple album, which introduced his signature slide guitar sound, as well as his spiritual themes. Several major names contributed to the album, including Eric Clapton, Gary Wright, Ringo Starr, Alan White, Peter Frampton, Gary Brooker, and John Lennon. Wow, so many legends there. It was a huge success, reaching number 1 in the US, UK, and several other countries. We'll start with Waw Wa. It reflects on George's frustration with the atmosphere in the Beatles in early 1969, when he temporarily left the band during the Get Back/Let It Be sessions. The song incorporates Phil Spector's Wall of Sound treatment.
Give
Interesting final sound there. Kind of a motor-like sound traveling up. Wow. Wow. Definitely the wall of sound. That was the whole song, basically. We'll talk about that, how the sounds sounded. But overall, very, very catchy. Hints of Beatles for sure, but then not quite. You know, kind of a mixture of George solo, Beatles. Obviously, he was fresh out of that band, so huge influence. Or was he still in the band? But wow, what a song, what a sound, what a huge sound. Yeah, we definitely got, and I definitely loved the big, huge spatial sound right from the first second. Great guitar riffs, both on the left and right. Came back a few times, very nice. It was very interesting that George's lead vocals were kind of way in the back, less prominent, and that just created one huge swirl of sound. I mean, that was their intention, complete success. I was lost in it, but I was also swimming in it because of that huge, grand, swirling sound. Yeah, great groove overall. The chorus, very catchy, was Waw Wa, pretty much the whole chorus, or most of it. It was cool the way it was sung. Kind of reminded me of a train horn at certain times. Ooh, doo, you know what I mean? Very evocative. That was cool. And I think I read there were horns in this song, but I couldn't quite tell because the way it was produced and mixed, everything kind of became one, all the instruments, even the vocals. And of course, that was their intention. I love that. I also loved how the bass guitar seemed to just pop in and out of nowhere. I zoned in a few different times. Very nice. We get a nice long instrumental section to again enjoy that swirling pocket of sound. And then a few more choruses to take us out. I really enjoyed how the wah wah was sung on different notes, you know, not just the same note. It just made it so much better to have it on different notes. Of course, I had to join in vocally right at the end there. Very unique stuff here. Overall, just grand sound from start to finish, right to that last second. And then they added that motor-like element right at the end. Very cool, very creative, very huge. It's also nice that apparently it's a sad subject matter, the lyrics, but the music pretty uplifting, groovy, nice juxtaposition there. I'll give this one 5 super shiny golden records, an A+ for Waw Wa by George Harrison, 1970. All right, on to Let It Down. It was written in 1968. George offered it to the Beatles, but they turned it down. It also uses the wall of sound. It's an erotic love song, a dynamic and passionate depiction of lust and desire, mirroring George's experiences with women at the time. A second acoustic version was also recorded. Let's check it out. Piano.
But I do. I ain't all behind anything I see. Should someone be looking at me?
dreamy.
And I do.
Organ.
Wasting away these moments so happily. Just someone be looking at me. Let it down. Let it down. Let your head around me. Let it down. Let it all down. Let your love sound. While you look so sweetly and divine, I can feel you here. See your eyes are busy kissing mine, and I do. Wondering what it is expecting to see. Should someone be looking at me? Let it down. Let it down. Let your head around me. Let it down. Let it all out. Let your love sound. Let it down. 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 Let it down.
Great bass at the end there. Jeez. Wow. Wow. First official George Harrison Tears, check. I only know one or two from him, probably solo all my life, but I really love this one, in case you couldn't tell. It's great. The contrast of the sections that I read about, it happened because 1 minute I was floating, intoxicated, teary, emotional, and then that chorus comes, boom, a blast of rock groove, different space back and forth. I love that. So like the first song, another huge blast of sound right from the get-go. Some great descending chord progressions in the beginning. I love that those chord progressions continued in different parts of the song. Awesome guitar melody on the left. Right away, I heard some dissonance in there. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a great song. And then my wish was granted. We cool off down into that soft section. Absolutely divine. That's when I started getting emotional. I'm like, okay, it's going to be this kind of experience. It was dreamy, sensual music. Paired with the lyrics, I can't even imagine. I didn't really hear them, but I know what it's about. Must be a full experience, a rich, sensual experience once you take it all in, know the words, and put them together with the music. I also love that the piano came in for this song. I mean, that alone, worth the price of admission. So just kept getting better, more surprises ahead. I've said it before, I think George's voice is my favorite out of the four Beatles. And here, that point was proven. I loved his beautiful, soft vocal delivery. Obviously, in the verses to match the music. That was amazing. And then more beautiful ingredients come into my ears. That organ on the right. I was hearing some kind of synth strings Almost sounded like the Mellotron, maybe it was. I don't know, but the parts that I heard were divine as well. And then that huge, passionate chorus, again, to match the passion of the song. I love that contrast in the instrumentation between the verses and those humongous choruses. Such an intoxicating song overall, especially in the verses. Some amazing moments of dissonance in those piano lines. That was firing me up. My brain was happy. Wow, George, really, really adore this song. And then we end on a big note with that wild, passionate abandon in the coda, right to the fade out. Wow, crazy. I loved it. Oh, Beatles, I think you made a mistake. I think you should have taken this song, because I'm giving it the Double Epic Platinum Record Award. Absolutely, for Let It Down by George Harrison. Wow, wow, wow. All right, and we'll end this awesome video with the song Run of the Mill. It was also inspired by the dysfunction in the final months of the Beatles' career. It's been described as an essay on karma, a tale of lost friendship, and a love song to the Beatles. A second acoustic version was also recorded for this one. Let's check it out.
Which way you turn, while feeling that our love's not your concern. You choose to decide. No one around you will carry the blame for you. No one around you will love you today and throw it all away tomorrow when you rise. Another day for you to realize me. Oh, set me down again as the days stand up on end. You got me wondering how I lost your friendship, but I see it in your eyes. Though I'm beside you, I can't carry the blame for you. I may decide to get out with your blessing, or I carry on guessing how I will. Will it make enough for you to rebuild? Won't you arrive at your own maiden with no one to set to be offended? But you that decide.
Too short. Wow, that really flew by. I knew it was a short song, but definitely left me wanting more. Back to the beginning. I really enjoyed the tone of that initial guitar, kind of strong, bold, upfront guitar right in my head. Really nice. I'd say this one had very clear, punchy music overall. Not that wall of sound in the other two songs, and I appreciate that contrast, the diversity in this reaction. The music also had a very introspective, like an ending type feel, you know. This is the end. That came through just within the music, the instrumentation, you know, not thinking about the lyrics. And that's not an easy feat, so again, kudos to George for his songwriting skills. Very strong, heartfelt vocals by George here. Again, he sings in many tones in the 3 songs here, so I appreciate his diversity as well. Didn't know enough about him, but I'm seeing his talent goes all across the board. I love the horn or trumpet melodies that came in surprisingly. Really sounded like a trumpet, so I hope it was. Let me know if I'm wrong. Great stuff. Overall, this song sounded kind of ahead of its time, maybe mid-70s for some reason, just to me. I mean, clearly, this must be a diverse album, since, this seems like a different era than the first 2, and then others probably seem like other eras or different style genres. I know we have that Indian influence, I'm pretty sure, on this one, so pure diversity. I always love that. Of course, I enjoyed hearing more piano on this one, but that super strong bass and those trumpets, or whatever they were clearly the stars of this one for me. Another great one. I'll give it 5 super shiny golden records, an A+ for Run of the Mill by George Harrison, 1970. And thank you so very much for this awesome ride today. George Harrison, anyone else involved, it's a long list, and of course the amazing Arnie. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. If you wish to chat about these 3, I would love to know what you think. Maybe some more of your favorites by George Harrison. So you take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember to let peace, calm, and light into your day and night. And I'll see you next time in the past.